to the Chevron Campus podcast, and this is a specific podcast where we'll be talking about the different innovations around the health sector, education, policy frameworks, and the different guidelines that have been submitted by government to ensure that young people are protected in Uganda. This is our first episode, Beyond the Uniform. When we talk about Beyond the Uniform, I don't know what comes to your perspective, but to me it comes to aligning dreams in the right way. And with me is Mutes Miriam, your host for today's podcast, and I definitely not going to be speaking alone. I have different people who are with me on this panel, and they will be digesting into telling us who they are and what they do. And I'll start right away from my left, my immediate left. Sometimes it's very hard to say left or right, so I don't know. You're on my right or left?
I'm on your left.
So I'm going to start with my immediate neighbor to give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Suna Morgan Ismail, one of the stakeholders in the education system.
Hello everyone, my name is Nanda Daisy. I work with Youth Chevron Uganda as an advocacy officer under the She Showers project.
Hello everyone, I'm by name of Napara Brenda.
And those are the people I will be digesting this discussion with, and basically maybe to give you a brief introduction about this, the government of Uganda introduced the 2020 guidelines on prevention and management of teenage pregnancy in Uganda, and this was basically elevated 2019 COVID, and within this time we had lots of numbers of girls getting pregnant, and we really didn't know what to do. So government came up with these innovative ideas of letting girls who have gotten pregnant or teenage mothers to go back to school. However, in Uganda, it still aligns to 1 in 4 girls are getting pregnant before the age of 18. And when you look at this, it is signals to girls getting out of school in most of our communities and society. So with me, we are going to be discussing on what can be done, even if government has put up different innovations to ensure that girls are going back to school. So I'm going to start with Daisy. Daisy will be telling us something little about the project, the She Showers project, whereby as an organization we are working on advocating for girls returning to school, because we believe education is key, and if a girl attains education, it is also related to aligning to the development of our country. So Daisy, briefly tell us about the She Showers project and what it is asking for.
Okay, as I said earlier, I work with Youth Chevron Uganda. So under this She Showers project, we are advocating for teenage mothers to go back to school. We work with different stakeholders, different ministries. We work with the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, We work with all of them to see that we can come up with ways possible for these young mothers to go back to school, because it is not the end of it all. They have to go back to school and become important persons in the future. Thank you.
Right ahead, Daisy, because I remember in the previous discussions we were having discussions on changing the 2020 guidelines on prevention and management of teenage pregnancy, and we were asking government to elevate it into a policy. So before we come into government elevating this guideline into a policy and putting some different changes within the guideline, because we specify that there are some little bit of loopholes within the guideline, like the mandatory testing of pregnancy within the school settings. We have also seen schools that are terminating girls out of school immediately when they test that they are pregnant. So on this specific discussion, I want us to dive into the reality on ground despite the fact that we want to have a change in this policy, or we want these gaps to be filled by Ministry of Education, aligning with Ministry of Gender, and also working with members of parliament that have just been elected. So we do not know what awaits later on. I'm going to start with Morgan. Morgan, thank you so much for the great work you're doing in this sector, because you know, when we talk about education, everyone has gone to school, but we have so many people that have not gone to school. And in this reality of community, we see many young girls getting pregnant and not going back to school. You as a stakeholder, what is your say on girls going back to school after giving birth, even when they are pregnant?
All right, thank you. Look at, when we look at teenage pregnancies, especially in schools, it is a concern, a real concern in our countries, especially in developing regions. Very many girls get pregnant when they are still in the process of learning and studying. But our major emphasis today, we are looking at what should we do, or what should do stakeholders, parents, and everyone, what should we do to see that this girl who has gotten pregnant and has produced, what should be done to see that this girl continues with her studies or go back to school? Firstly, I'm going to look at the policies or the guidelines issued by the government in 2020. When you look at the guidelines, me personally, I've been in the system of education. But when you go down, especially in our rural schools, some of our schools do not even know, they are not aware of these guidelines and principles. We are starting with that. The government, I think it should enforce these guidelines. Okay. Now, these guidelines were issued, but are not in practice. I think the government has not done enough.
I think that goes more on implementation.
On implementation, because some of the schools are not even aware. Because now when we try to break them down, for example, the government said that if, for example, I've checked a girl, me as a school administrator, and that girl is found with pregnancy, the guidelines say that you give that girl 3 months, then that girl you expel.
In fact, it is not expulsion. You send her home.
You send that girl home. And after, now they say that after, like, when the girl has produced, when the kid is about 6 months, the girl should go back to school when the kid is at least 6 months.
So I want to stop right away, because that is a very key point, whereby girls are sent home at 3 months. But we have limited schools that are aligning to that. Because when you come to the Ugandan contest, we have schools, immediately girls are found pregnant, they are sent home. So we want to see, as government, I think it's more like you said on implementation. But to you as a person, don't you feel like that is a very long period of a girl staying out of school? Because when you add the 3 months, the girl is supposed to be sent home, and then after giving birth, they stay home for 6 months. That is almost 1 year and a half. So to me, I feel like that time is really very high. This person might lose interest in going back to school.
Exactly. So exactly. That period is literally very, very long. You cannot send someone home for after like 1.5 years. That person is at home. First, is going to lose interest. You cannot be at home for 1.5 years and you expect to come back with the vigor you had before being sent home. I think at least the government should regulate and at least say, now I can give you an example. If you have if a girl is found with a pregnancy, maybe is a candidate in senior 4, let's say in second term around July, the girl is pregnant. Now you cannot say that you are going to send this girl home for 6 months, and after, you see, after delivery, she waits for...
She will miss out.
Of course, she's going to miss.
But
I think the government should do, because you may find that some of the girls, I don't know how I see it, but I think there are some girls who can manage to be at school with a pregnancy at least up to the 7th month. I think the government should regulate in the guidelines, but in regulating, the most important part of it, sensitization, because our schools are not sensitized. They are not aware of these guidelines, because the guidelines say that there should be re-entry or readmission. After, some of our schools, when you get pregnant, they just chase you out.
And you cannot be able to resume back.
They are just influenced by emotions and leave alone the school as a setting, but come to our local communities. I mean the parents and the people in the community. When a girl is found with it is discovered you are pregnant, the first thing is condemning you.
Yes.
And when you condemn someone, that person is going to get stigmatized, and she's going to lose the morale. Firstly, what our parents do after you found with a pregnancy, you immediately become a disappointment to a family and maybe to other individuals who have been supporting you. You have disappointed us. We were expecting a lot from you. I can give you an example. One of the schools I've ever worked with, we had a parent, and now this parent, his girl was found. The girl was pregnant in senior 2, and
I think senior 2 has a very critical issue because you find most of the girls senior 2, senior 3 there. Maybe we will get more time and see what happens in
that
senior
class
2.
is very, very dangerous. Senior 2 is very dangerous. Senior 2 and senior 3. Now, when the girl got, when she was found with a pregnancy, now instead of supporting the girl, she was condemned. I remember we had a school deputy teacher. The lady, instead of talking to a girl like girl to girl talk or woman to woman talk, the lady called the basa. They punished the girl. They talked ill about the girl. The girl was taken as a disappointment.
So right away we will stop there, and on the next bit, on when you are telling us about this story, we want to stop there because schools are doing pregnancy testing for girls. It is mandatory, but how they do it and how they also display the information is a little bit hard. With us in the room, we have I won't call her an adolescent mother, but she is a young mother who has gotten some experience on this. You know, sometimes when we talk about these things, someone might say, where are they getting it from? But these are stories that are really touching very many young people and disrupting their education. So we are going to have the lady in the house tell us a little bit of her story on what happened. So maybe on that I will give Daisy the mandate to briefly take us through, and then let her tell us what is happening.
Okay. Okay, I'll also add this. Under the She Showers project, we do evidence-based advocacy. We talk to people, we give them a chance, for example, the adolescents, to tell us their stories, to tell us what they went through, because it is them who are going through this. As we engage them, we want them to be engaged, you know, meaningfully. So I'll which language are you okay? Luganda.
It's okay.
So she can speak in Luganda.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to ogenda tubulira wajja otya okufuna olubuto.
Mukisa okumpeereddwa. Olubuto nalufunira mu senior 1. Essomero lye lyategeera nti ndi lubuto ne liyita muzadde wange. We baayita muzadde wange n'ajja ne bamunnyonnyola nga wendi olubuto, era ne bamugamba nti bangobye ku ssomero. Era muzadde wange yali munyiivu koze, era omuzadde yenna kasita awulira nti muwala wa nti ali lubuto biki taba musanyufu. Ne tudda ewaka, era we twadda ewaka embeera teyali nnungi waka, koze era ssenga we yakimanya nti ndi lubuto teyali musanyufu. We twadda ewaka nembeera ewaka nembeerawo, era paka we nazaala omwana wange. Koze era nali sobola kumuggyamu, kubera we nali muggyeemu nalifunye obuzibu. Naye naguma ne ŋŋamba kamumusigaze mu lubuto mukuze, era nenzaala.
Wali nnyo Brenda. Kaakati kankubuzeeyo akabuuzo akalala.
Advice gyempa ku ba teenager mothers nti oba olina omukisa ogw'okuddayo ku ssomero, okusoma kwo tekukoma, osobola ogenda n'oddayo n'osoma. Ate n'ekirala nti weekuume, tolina kgenda ne weegabaagaba nti buli wamu nti ogenze kwegabaagabayo. Waliwo abamu kale like ba mothers abamu nga bo babba baabwe babasuulawo ne beegana n'abaana, agende nti afune ssente mu ebyo ebintu by'okwegabaagaba. Ebirwadde byo bingi. The advice gyembawa nti temwegabaagaba, ate oba olina omukisa ogw'okuddayo ku ssomero ate nga anakwatirako kusoma waali, osobola okuddayo n'osoma.
Thank you so much, Brenda. Kakati, we are going to just have maybe a little bit of the last discussion. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that this discussion is going on. Today we're having a stakeholder and an adolescent mother briefly telling us what is this, what are we looking at, how best can we have these young mothers go back to school, how can we have everyone attain an education. So don't forget, we are right away on the Chaperone Campus podcast, and this is our first episode. We will be calling you on to subscribe. We are on Spotify, YouTube, and we are also on TikTok. So right away, I'm going to ask Morgan to give us his last take on this discussion.
All right, thank you once again. As I'm giving my conclusive remarks, I want to go back on the government or the policies. I think the government should put penalties to defaulters of the policies. because you may find that Madam Miria, a girl, she has given birth and is willing to go back
Yes.
for studies. But I assure you, majority of our schools, they are unwilling
Yes.
to admit these girls. They are unwilling. Some of the schools don't even want to think about it. When they discover that you are a teenage mother, they are unwilling to accept you or to enroll you. I think that's where the government should come in and put some penalties and some punishments. For example, if a girl you are not admitted or the school has
refuse to admit you
yes
back.
denied you a place, you report to the ministry because you have a right to continue with your studies.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think when it comes to penalties and discussions around punishments, that will be our take on the next episode. Delighted to host this entire first podcast. And my name is Mutes Miriam. We'll be getting back to you right away. But don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment on what you would like us to discuss. Thank you so much.